Hello, I am super excited for this little video series. I've had some questions within my district just on how to do some of these things that might seem like back to the basics for those of us who've had technology in our classrooms, but as new teachers join or we get new technology in our rooms, I wanted there to be a place where some people could find answers to some of these questions. Or sometimes we just need a refresher. It's been a while since we've done something and we don't have a lot of extra time as teachers to just click around and figure things out. So hopefully I answer a lot of questions throughout this week in some of these videos. I'm also going to be saving them, so that hopefully there's something you can share or go back and refer to. If you have any ideas for future topics that you would like to see, I would love for you to send those to me so I can have some other ideas of what to do. But for today, we're going to look at setting up our Google Classroom. Again, I know this might be really basic for some of us, but others might just need a refresher or are trying Google Classroom for the first time still. So I'm going to open my Google Classroom here. I have already archived my other classes, but I wanted you to see how to do that. So just a reminder so that this area doesn't get too cluttered with things. You'll just want to take your classes from last year and archive them. So it'll say yes. You can still go back and see things. This will take it off of students' classes though, so it kind of cleans up their page for the year too, and it will clean up yours. So I'm going to create a class. Usually my classes are all called English, and then I put the teacher's name since that's what I teach, and that separates each of my classes by their homeroom. I'm just going to put this as a test class, and I'm going to leave those others blank and create that. My students do not have access to their email. In the past, I've had some that did, so I could go through and enter all their emails. They would get an invite to join my class. If your students have that access and you would like to do it that way, all you would do is here, go to students, invite students, and you could start typing all of them here and do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to, at the beginning of this school year, my kids, I'll explain how to get onto Google Classroom. I will show them how to add the class. So when they come to this homepage, they'll click this plus sign, join a class, and then, then that will let them hit that class code there, and you get that right here at the top of your screen. What I usually do is I print that out and I post them at the top of on my board. So then if students, sometimes you'll have like weird things happen where if they had to get a new account or someone moves in and you need that class code, then it's right up there. I had some kids who left my class because they thought it'd be funny, so that way the code is there. I don't have to go in and pull this up every time to show them. Once all your students are in, you'll see them here. Some of these are new this year. So I was actually in a beta group, so I got to test these out last year, but I just had Dan check and his are showing up this year too. So this is a really cool portal section of this. Where you can go to people, you can click on the students and see all of their grades. So I actually had a parent at the end of last school year who wanted to see some of the assignments, and so this made it super easy. I could just go in, find that student, and download those assignments. It'll also give you a grade book, so obviously I don't have grades in here because I just created this, but all of those will come across on here too. So as your students are entering that class code, they will pop up here. I usually just project this on the board so I can watch as they all pop up and make sure that they've joined correctly. Just a couple things to talk about while we're first learning Google Classroom. Here is where you can post different things. So I use the stream usually to post websites that I want my students to go to. If they're doing research and I'm sharing some websites or resources, this is where I'll post that. You can also, when you go here, if you had multiple classes, you would click this, which I only have this class set up right now, and you can post to all of your classes at the same time. So even though I have 5 classes set up for my 5 sections, I can post something to all of those very quickly. You can also select, so if I had students entered in this class, they would come up here and I could select only certain students. So I've had times where there's something I want to post to just one student. I'm returning work to them or I have feedback for them on something, and so I can just select their name and put whatever I need to in there. Then when you're assigning assignments. You're going to want to go to classwork and then create. This is where it will let you make sure that they can turn it in so you can see who's done it, add grades, things like that. It has to come through this classwork to be an assignment. So you can use some of these different tools. Generally, I just have an assignment. Again, I would go here and select all of the classes if it's something I'm giving to all classes. Add the title, instructions, points, whatever. You can insert videos here. You can add attachments. One thing I really like to use is adding, and I'm covering it up right now with this video, but you can add from your drive. And so when you add something from your drive, this is just some notes that I've made. So I can make a copy for each student. So that is really nice if you're giving them a template for their writing or something. So that way, as soon as they open it, it's their own copy. It actually saves with their name in front of it. So when you see all of those in your drive, then it already has their name next to it. So those are just some of those basics. When I mentioned seeing it in your drive, this is like a shortcut that can take you right there. So in your drive, you will have a folder for each of your classrooms. So if I went to my drive, you'd see here, I'd click on classroom, there'd be a folder for each of my classes. And then within this class, it'll actually sort all your assignments too. So if I had an assignment called spelling, I would have a folder here called spelling. I'd open it up and I could see all those assignments. I also added this is gonna, I don't know if I can go back to my archived. Okay, so yeah, even my archived classes are showing up here. So if I go in here, you can see all the assignments that I have given to my students. We use this a lot for spelling. And one thing that I did here too is added an add-on here. So if I selected all of these, and like this one didn't download, so I'd have to unselect that, and go here, open with, ooh, it's not showing up. I wonder if I have another one on here that's, okay, because I have some that aren't PDFs. So if I had only PDFs selected, let's just see here. If I can select some of these PDFs. If I go here to open with, and I added this PDF mergey on here, and that will let me merge all those PDFs to one file so I could easily print them. Obviously, my idea is to go paperless, but when I'm doing things like a spelling test, I want to print that so I can send it home with kids so that families can see that. So this way I don't have to open each one and hit print separately. I have 130 students, so that would take me forever. So I can just do this for each class and only hit print 5 times. So that is kind of my overview for just kind of getting set up for back to school. You would go here, you could go to your different classes, you could go back to archive classes, and so on. Edit details here, there's that class code again, see different things. So what other questions do you have on Google Classroom? Let me know, and then I can post some more videos to hopefully explain those. So thanks for watching. I hope that you come back this week to see some of the other tutorials.